All right. Hi, everybody, and welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Shelby Verboven, and I'm the Director of Admissions and Student Recruitment here at the University of Toronto, Scarborough. We're so thrilled to welcome you to our Department of Management webinar today, and congratulations on your offer of admission. This is a really exciting time for you and for us. We are really looking forward to having you join our campus community, and we're going to tell you all about that over the course of this webinar. We have lots of people lined up to chat with you today during the webinar. You'll get to meet lots of our faculty, staff, and students. We're expecting this webinar to last about an hour. And so, feel free to ask questions in the chat. We'll get to those questions at the end. We are recording the webinar so that we can send it out to you after the finish. So get comfortable. Feel free to introduce yourself in the chat as well. Let us know where you're from and what you're most excited about in joining the management department. So again, lots of things for you to explore today. We have a full agenda of speakers and panelists. You're going to get to hear from the chair of our Department of Management. You're going to get to go on a virtual tour. We're very sad that we can't welcome you to campus right now, but you're going to get to check out our bridge facility. Then we've got lots of faculty and staff and students who are going to share with you some of the unique academic opportunities that you could expect in the Department of Management. We're going to chat about market analysis. You're going to hear about student managed funds and some really exciting work integrated learning opportunities that our students have been able to participate in. Again, at the close of the webinar, we'll be able to take some of your questions live, and I'll prompt you at the end to start posing your questions in the chat. So get ready for that. But right now, I want to introduce you to Professor David Zweig. He is the chair of the Department of Management.
Thank you, Shelby. And thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning. We are so excited to get another opportunity to speak to you and tell you about the exciting path that you're going to be taking very, very soon. So I want to first congratulate everyone on getting an offer into one of our programs. This is one of the toughest programs to get into U of T, so you have made it. And so we are thrilled that you have an opportunity to join us in the fall, and we hope to see many of you here in the fall and to welcome you. And if you're still thinking about, whether or not this program, UTSC and management is a good program for you, I want to talk a little bit about why we think we do things a little bit different and a little bit better than your traditional undergraduate business programs. Now, a couple of things I want to talk about. I want to talk about the fact that you're coming to U of T, you're going to get a world-class education. All of you know that U of T has an excellent reputation. We're the #1 ranked university in Canada and in the top 20 universities in the world. That makes a difference. That makes a difference in all of your classes because you're going to be taught by some of the best faculty anywhere in the world, learning of the latest about management theory and how to apply it in jobs and in your future positions and organizations. That's huge. And the fact that you're coming to U of T and you're going to get a U of T degree means that doors everywhere will open for you across the world. U of T is one of the most highly respected universities in the world. And once you tell people you're a U of T graduate, you will see the recognition and understanding that that is a signal of quality. And that's what you want to do, what you want to think about when you're making decisions about the university you're going to. And I encourage you, even if you don't decide to come to U of T, to go to the best university you can get into and take a look at the ranking and reputation of that university. Now, what we pride ourselves here at UTSC Management is the fact that we're not only giving you an incredible education, but we're combining that education with unbelievable opportunities to engage in work integrated learning that you're going to learn about today as we talk about the bridge, but also co-op, of course. And so if we can move to the next slide, I'll give you, you can see the number of different organizations that we work with. And it ranges from, small firms, medium-sized firms, and the next slide, which has all of the organizations on it, please, if someone's moving them forward, and to multinational firms that work around the world. And so you have opportunities to work with all of these different firms. And as soon as you join our program, we start to develop the skills that you need to be successful in obtaining co-op opportunities and to adding that to your repertoire of skills when you graduate the program. So imagine that in 4 years, you can get a full year of work experience under your belt, and you can hit the ground running in terms of propelling your future career. You can either do that, or you can go to graduate school, and we will prepare you well for that as well. And so there's a great opportunity for you to explore through these 4 years with us where your passions lie, whether it's in accounting, finance, HR, marketing, OB, whatever it might be. And we can help you find opportunities in the workplace that help tie into your passions, which is so incredible. And the nice thing about our program too is that we really, really, really do care about your success. Everyone here is committed to your success, from the faculty and the staff and your fellow students. And we offer a lot of technical support and academic support for you, lots of opportunities to get help and assistance. And so you're not just a number. You really mean a lot to us. I always say that once you join management, you're part of the management family, and we want to make sure that you excel. And so we offer a lot of opportunities, as you can see here on this slide, a variety of ways to get help, a variety of ways to get involved, and to be a member of the management family. So I'll come and talk to you at the end of all of this, but right now I want to turn it over to Professor Bill McConkey. Just before I do that, I forgot to mention that, of course, things are going to look a little bit different for you in the fall than a traditional year, of course, as we all deal with the current situation in the world. What we promise you is that we are doing our very, very, very best to ensure that you have a terrific learning opportunity, and to ensure that in every way possible, we create an opportunity for you to build connections amongst your fellow students and with us, our faculty and staff. We're committed to your health and safety, and everything we do online is going to be with our very best effort to ensure that your learning is not compromised. And we promise you that we are working very, very hard to ensure that we maintain the academic excellence of our programs and continue to build our community. Okay, so now the fun part. Let me introduce you to Professor Bill McConkey, who is the academic director of the Bridge, and he's going to take you on a live tour of some of the facilities that you'll be using when you join the program. So let me turn it over to you, Professor McConkey.
Thanks so much, Dave. Appreciate that. Welcome, everyone. It's a real joy to show off the Bridge, our experiential and advanced training lab and research center. The Bridge is an incredible collaboration between the University of Toronto's Department of Management here at Scarborough and the UTSC Library. You'll see why in a few minutes, why that collaboration means so much. Now, as you can see, the Bridge is a series of spaces: the Bridge Lab, the Bridge Library, and our admin spaces, but it's also a series of programs. To learn more about those, let's go inside. We're entering the Bridge Lab. The Bridge Lab, as you can see, is equipped with state-of-the-art terminals, including the Bloombergs, advanced teaching screens. This space is used for research. It's used for advanced training and all kinds of methodologies. At UTSC here and through the Bridge program, you'll have access to the most amazing research and the most amazing tools, including software that you could ever imagine. We provide all kinds of special industry-led events here, where not only you get to know corporate leaders and innovators, but you also get to work on their challenges through our work-integrated learning programs. Classes are often taught here for specialized tool development, and then, as I said, these special events also occur with the partners from our corporate sector. I'm actually joined on the other side of the camera by the head of our work-integrated learning programs, Dave Fenton. Hi, Dave.
Hey, how's it going, Professor?
Any better? You'd swear I was in the Bridge. It's really nice to be back here because, of course, COVID, we're all doing our teaching online, as you've been probably taught online so far. We're now entering the next stage of the Bridge, which is the Bridge Library. As a management student here at Scarborough, you're going to have the best of both worlds. You've got the community feel and the personal touch of the librarians and the researchers and the faculty and staff. And that culture of community means so much to us. but you've also got access to the breadth of the research and tools available in the entire University of Toronto network, which is second to none in Canada. And you know, the collections are in the top 3 in all of North America, if you can imagine that. So we're here with all of these tools, but in this beautiful, intimate setting. And here in the management library, if you have questions regarding research, we have the library team always here. We also have 2 other main uses in this library. One is Dave Fenton, who you just were introduced to. He and I will be often conducting our meetings with our corporate partners, working on that next great case study that you're going to solve in your class. This is how we do WIL, and this is why people are saying the bridge maybe is that next great thing in management education. We don't take old stale case studies from some shelf elsewhere. We build them in real time with amazing partners, people that you're probably going to want to work with in the future when you graduate from this place. So we build these case studies in here. We also collaborate with students in here, whether working on a work integrated learning project or developing their own initiative. We have something that's referred to as the New Venture Program. For a couple of decades, our Department of Management has done entrepreneurship, and we've done it a little differently, and we think a really compelling way. Constantly mixing training with experience. We have a series of really agile kind of sprints that the students go through. They also get access to the greatest researchers that University of Toronto has, domain experts. And then through the work integrated learning, often even get prototyping assistance as they launch their minimal viable products. Here's one of our spaces where it's both a collaboration space, a classic business meeting space, and we're training people, young professionals, how to act as professionals. Also, though, this is one of the spaces that converts into hoteling spaces for our student startups in the New Venture Program. So this is our brief look at our space. There's so many programs to tell you about that are administered through the bridge, but I can tell you that a lot of those stories will be told through the experts that present those programs. In fact, I think we're going to hand it off now to some of those financial experts I mentioned who do a lot of that training here in the Bridge Lab. Do we have Bill Chow?
Hi, everyone. My name is Bill Chow. I'm the supervisor at the Bridge. So the Bridge is where co-curricular learning takes place and also the perfect place for you to hang out between classes. Inside of the business library of the Bridge, you can find the popular and up-to-date magazines and newspaper in the business library. Speaking of the library, actually, do you know the U of T library system is the 3rd largest in North America, only behind Harvard and Yale? So at the Bridge Library, you have access to physical and digital resources of all 44 libraries in the U of T system. At the same time, you get to enjoy learning in a small and cozy campus setting. For example, if you are interested in financial data, you have access to data platforms like FactSet, Bloomberg, and Capital IQ, which are very popular financial platforms within the financial industry. And more importantly, the Bridge is always staffed with librarians and library staff to help you with your research or any information inquiries. At the Bridge, we work very hard to foster an intimate learning environment. The Bridge Lab is designed to mimic the trading floor with high ceilings and digital display all around. Here at the Bridge, you can catch up with the latest business news and have conversations with your peers about the next investment ideas. Every day, our students will volunteer to create an end-of-day market summary to help our business students understand what is driving the markets. So to give you a taste of it, we will spend the next 2 minutes to see what is going on in the markets today. So allow me to share my screen with you. So what you see here, this is a Bloomberg terminal, which I'm showing on the screen. In the last three days, actually this week, the US market has been enjoying pretty good success. It's been up 3 days in a row. at least until the morning, and I just saw that we are slowly turning into a more neutral or negative territory now. And interestingly, what you can see here on the screen, this is performance of all the different industry within S&P 500. So for today, we are definitely leading by the financial industry, followed by industrial, and the biggest lagger today is information technology. So this is very interesting because as we can see, the market narratives kind of change day to day. In the previous couple of weeks, information technology sector was the driving force. You know, you have your Facebook, you have Google, you have Amazon definitely leading the market in a very significant way. And the market itself actually has behaved quite surprisingly resilient. And as of now, some of these companies have reached all-time high, like Amazon and etc. So today sort of we see a reverse trend, and this is normally what we do daily in the bridge. We would talk about market development, we have students chatting, and basically having conversation and discussion is what is going to be the next investment ideas. So let me stop this. And as you can see, the students that hang out usually in the bridge are very active, and they engage in many different management clubs. So for example, you can always spot students who run the student managed fund huddling around the Bloomberg terminals, picking out stocks, or you see students from the Sports Business Association crunching numbers on their favorite sports team. The students who are heavy user of the bridge often do very well in their co-op term, setting the next stage for better first full-time job after graduation. Employers value very highly the work integrated learning experience students gain during their undergraduate studies. So later in the presentation, you'll get a chance to hear from the incoming president of the Student Managed Fund, Cajun. Cajun has just completed his last co-op term at RBC Capital's Market in the investment banking division. And we generally use the bridge for a few different things as well. Besides being an open and collaborative space for management students, we run co-curricular workshops from Excel to Power BI to coding workshops with Python and R. Certainly, there's certain very innovative courses also take place in the bridge. For one, we have a 4th-year trading strategy course focuses on algorithmic trading. And there is also a very popular course on behavioral finance taught by Professor Charles Martineau. And we're very glad to have Professor Martineau here today to give us a glimpse of the cool things that he does in class. So may I please have Charles?
Yeah, right here. Hi, everyone. So my name is Charles Martineau. I'm a teacher at UTSC Management in behavioral finance and investor psychology. Usually I teach to 3rd-year and 4th-year students. Necessary skills that students must develop in my class is how to program, and specifically so how to program in Python to implement trading strategies, existing trading strategies, as well as trading strategies that are proposed by the students. So for example, in the last semester, I had some students develop portfolio risk management to how to hedge risk associated with pandemics. Something that is really, really important when it comes to the bridge, and as well from the help of Bill Chow, is that you will, in my class, it's mandatory that you attend Python workshops that are held in the bridge. And you'll have great support from the librarians and as well by Bill Chow. I'm just gonna conclude just by saying that UTC Management is a fantastic university for integral learning. And most importantly, and something that I really put a lot of emphasis in my class, is to learn real skills that are in demand by the employers. So this is what you can expect from us when you join UTSC Management. Thank you.
And next, we would like to hear from one of our student representatives, Cajun, who is the incoming president of the Student Managed Fund. Cajun?
My name is Cajun, and I'm a 4th-year management student specializing in finance. I'd like to talk to you about my experience with the Student Managed Fund. As Bill mentioned, I'm the incoming president for the fund. SMF was founded in 2015 and is a collaboration between the Department of Management and the Bridge. At inception, we started with a fund size of $250,000, and we've had over 60 participants participate in the fund since inception. Our fund is set up with a senior team, portfolio managers, and research analysts. The three portfolio groups in SMF are natural resources, consumer goods, and financials and technology. Overall, the objective of SMF is to provide an end-to-end education and understanding of investing. We use a value investing approach and focus on Canadian equities in the mid-cap and large-cap spaces. Members of SMF have a strong track record of career success. Over the past few years, members have gone on to work in investment banking, sales and trading, and hedge funds. Some placements include the Big 5 banks, Big 4 accounting firms, Big 3 consulting firms, and pension plans. I view my SMF experience as a highlight of my studies at UTSC. It has allowed me to gain valuable experiences that have helped me with my career in finance. SMF's vision is to help students with career development and mentorship while providing experiential learning. The core objectives of SMF is diversifying the portfolio and strategically allocating exposure to generate alpha over the benchmark, which right now is the S&P TSX. Thanks for taking the time to listen to my experiences with SMF. Now I'd like to introduce Laura as our next speaker. She will discuss her experience with the new venture program.
Hi, my name is Laura. I'm an incoming third-year student in the Management and International program. I'm going to talk a little bit about having a startup and adding to what Bill said about being part of the new venture program. So when I was in the first year, me and Flora, the co-creator of our app, created the concept for an app during U of T hackathon. We ended up placing second when we decided to continue developing it. So the premise of the app is that we didn't like the regular travel itinerary builders because they required you to put in your own events and take into account your own time, cost, and distance. So we came up with Planet to automate the whole process. The app allows users to fill in a few simple filters and build an entire day's travel plan based on these preferences in the chosen destination. So I have a few screenshots from the app because the video is a little too difficult to include of the prototype. So here you fill in the filter for transportation and food. And on the next slide, you'll see there's also an option for distance between each event as well as pricing for each one. And then on the next event, you choose different activities you'd like. There's more, but these are just the few that we have now. And then you click the itinerary, and from there, using the app's algorithm, we would create an entire day plan. So this would be a bit of an overview. If you didn't like one of the events, you could change it out. And then on the bottom right-hand side, there's details, which we'll show on the next slide, on cost, typical time spent at each event, and the travel time to the next event. So when we first created Planet, we were looking for a kind of program that would help us on both the tech and the business side. And MVP was the perfect fit that showed us the ropes of what it was like creating our own company. The MVP connected us with countless opportunities at the school and outside entrepreneurial events that we would have never known were happening otherwise. We had the opportunity to have our app programmed by a class of third-year computer science students where we presented as a client. And it was great seeing different versions of what could be our final product and the students take on the idea, as well as the code that we got to keep at the end of the semester. We also led the class through weekly slowdown meetings to ensure that teams are up to standards, proper coded features and whatnot. This gave us the opportunity to be more involved in the coding process and having real life experience on what it's like to lead a team in a startup. We're now using the code created in the class to build our own final product. Because of the MVP, we also had a chance to attend events like Collision, which is Toronto's biggest tech conference. We visited Google's headquarters as well as IBM's and the Mars Discovery District downtown, which is Toronto's entrepreneurial hub, and we had the access to whenever we'd like. Besides just the opportunities we've been presented with, we've also had the chance to meet some of the greatest mentors. Bill, who you saw earlier showing you the bridge, has started a few of his own companies and continues to guide us on the business end of having a startup based on his own experiences, as well as Dave, who is switching the slides for me, who's always on the lookout for different events and chances for us to participate in. Over the past year of being with MVP, we've honed our entrepreneurial skills as well as our coding skills. And I highly doubt that we would have continued with our startup had it not been for the new venture program. I'm going to pass it on to Professor Kong.
Hi, I'm Douglas Kong. I'm the Associate Professor in Accounting and also the Academic Director for the Master of Accounting and Finance program. I would like to share with you a couple of exciting things that are actually happening in the accounting area. We have recently received approval on a combined degree program, which will allow accounting students at the end of year 2 to fast track the admission into our Master of Accounting and Finance program. Now, if everything works out within 5 to 6 year time frame, students should receive their undergrad degree in accounting, the Master of Accounting and Finance degree, and their CPA and ACCA designations, and possibly the CFA designation as well. I would also like to share with you a project that we have recently worked with Scarborough Health Network for my C70, which is a management information class, and D45, which is strategy and corporate governance class. Now, just a little bit quick background about the Scarborough Health Network. The Scarborough Health Network is made up of 3 hospitals in Scarborough: the Grace Hospital on Birchmount, the Scarborough General Hospital, and the Centenary Hospital. Now, their vision is to become the leading community teaching health network, and their mission is to improve lives through exceptional care. So you can see that they're putting a lot of focus in the patient care experience. Now, just a few key facts about the Scarborough Health Network. If I can go to the next slide. They are the 3rd largest community hospital in Ontario, and they have an operating budget of over $635 million. They have 190,000 emergency department visits every year, and they have more than 5,000 staff, 1,000 doctors, and 1,500 volunteers. Now, in terms of the collaboration with Scarborough Health Network, what we have asked my D45 class to do is to help the Scarborough Health Network to identify and recommend the corporate sponsorship opportunities to support their fundraising initiatives to upgrade the emergency department. Now, for my C70 class, students are asked to identify any technology that can help them to accomplish the no-wait emergency room, the innovative workflows, and to enhance the positive patient experience. Now, the learning outcome from these collaboration is to provide the students with a hands-on experience in applying strategies that they've learned in the class to meet the company goals. Now, this is a great balance between applying the technical skills and the enabling competency in the real life experience. Now, you certainly have to exercise your problem solving and critical thinking skills. And this is a great way to train the communication skills as well, as you have to come up with the negotiation tactics and maybe a very convincing verbal presentation to convince companies to become the corporate sponsors for Scarborough Health Network. Now, there's a lot of teamwork involved in this project as well. Now, the final project outcome is that at the end of the term, 4 teams from each of my C70 and D45 classes, they presented the technology and the corporate sponsorship proposals to Scarborough Health Network. Now, the feedback from Scarborough Health Network is very positive. Now, the winning team from my C70 class and 2 winning teams from my D45 class was selected by Scarborough Health Network. And Scarborough Health Network will review these ideas and see if they can now be adopted into their plans for the future. I'm now going to pass on to Tara, who is one of my students in my D45 class, to share with you about her experience regarding this project. So Tara.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tara. I'm currently in my last semester here at UTSC in the management program, where I've specialized in accounting. I had the pleasure of taking MGA D45 Strategy and Corporate Governance this past winter, where we focused on the fundraising initiatives Professor Kong just briefly discussed. My group specifically focused on corporate sponsorship. Before I zone in on the project itself, I would like to provide you with a little insight into my personal goals with respect to pursuing a management degree here at UTSC. The whole purpose of my academic journey has been to gain the knowledge and skills required to address economic disparities and to serve my community. The breadth of this project provided an excellent learning opportunity, to say the least. The site visit to Centenary Hospital Emergency Department provided a first-hand experience where we were able to visibly see the need. The Director of Marketing welcomed us, and after a brief presentation, made himself available to answer questions or to simply just discuss the project itself. On the other hand, guest speakers also came to campus and gave small, intimate presentations in individual classes. It became clear that our work mattered, and they wanted to ensure ample resources were available to assist us. It was not only an excellent learning opportunity, the Scarborough Health Network project greatly enhanced our opportunity to serve the community as well, which is extremely important to me. Every course I've taken at UTSC has assisted me in one way or another and figuring out how I could utilize my knowledge to address economic disparities and materialize my goals. As I come to the end of my academic journey, I've been able to navigate a wealth of information and narrow down my options. I've concluded the best approach to pursuing my personal objectives is to start a nonprofit organization with respect to wards of the state. This will allow me to focus on political and social matters extremely important to me while directly addressing obvious economic disparities. The experience I gained by partaking in the Scarborough Health Network project is invaluable. Without it, I wouldn't have a realistic view of what is involved in undertaking complex projects around issues that cross multiple industries, nor do I believe that I would have the skills required to compile a comprehensive business plan that would be received well outside of an academic setting. The integration of the classroom with real-world issues allowed us to think deeper about the interconnections between industries. It allowed us to look beyond our personal goals and to assess our impact in the world. And notably, it provided us with a platform to strengthen our presentation and teamwork skills as a result of having to present our findings to industry professionals. To conclude, my involvement with the Scarborough Health Network project has had a significant impact on me personally, professionally, and academically. Professionally, for example, I've gained the confidence to continue to pursue my goals as I depart from UTSC, and that I have the skills required to navigate and tackle the most daunting challenges. Professionally, it assisted in skill development at a level that cannot be obtained in a lecture setting alone. For example, communication skills. Throughout each phase of the project, we engaged with professionals outside of the school. Teamwork skills. To produce a cohesive document, substantial team meetings and individual involvement was required. And lastly, organizational skills. We had to work with a lot of information. We needed to pull it together, and we needed to produce something of value. Academically, as you notice, this is a D-level course. You will have taken several courses before this. With that said, a project of this nature helped me to pull all the courses over the years together and understand their individual importance. As you go forward with this program, you will come to understand that UTSC management connects human ambition with resources to form a bridge to assist in materializing your vision and to create the future. On a side note, I would like to sincerely thank the management team for taking their time to compile such an impactful project. It was a pleasure to be part of the experience. Thank you. And to future students, I wish you all the best on your future endeavors. I will now pass it over to Professor Swag for closing remarks.
Hi again, everyone. So I wanted to spend a couple of minutes wrapping up, and I've been busy trying to respond to some chat messages along the way too. So you can see, I hope you can see through the presentations from our professors, from our staff, and from our students that we're doing something different here. And what we're really trying to do is reimagine how business education looks like. And we're doing that by making a commitment to all of our students to really integrate real-time, real-life problems into your classrooms. And so you're not working with case studies that describe situations that occurred in organizations 5 years ago. You're going into organizations now, and they're coming to us with their real-world, real-time problems, and they're asking you to solve it. How amazing is that? What kind of experience is that going to give you in terms of your learning and your ability to apply that learning that we give you in our courses to your own careers and your own situations? It's unbelievable. And so we're really excited about the way that we are reinventing management education, and we hope that you will all benefit and be a part of it come the fall. So as we wrap up today, I know there's still lots of questions coming. I want to wish all of you the best of luck. I want to congratulate all of you who have already decided to join us in the fall. And if you're still thinking about it, I want you to really consider that, that this is a good fit for you. And of course, stay safe. All of your families, you and your families, please stay safe. And we look forward to meeting you in the fall virtually or however we can do it. We very much look forward to welcoming you to the management family. So thank you again, and I'm going to pass it off to Shelby Verboven for final remarks.
All right, thank you, Professor Zweig. I know many of you have already been asking questions in the chat, and we're going to do our best to get to some more of those questions through the rest of the webinar. Also, if you have questions for our faculty or for our current students that are participating in today's webinar, this is a great opportunity to post those questions in the chat, and we'll get them to answer those questions live for you. Now, if you're wondering what happens next, there's a few things that you need to do in order to confirm your commitment to the management department and your offer of admission. Firstly, make sure that you have accepted your offer of admission in the Join U of T portal. I know many of you have already done that, and that is great. We're excited to welcome you. If you are an international student, you are also required to pay a $1,000 admission deposit when you accept that offer. So ensure that you're doing that. Your resource as a newly admitted student and an incoming student to U of T Scarborough is on the You Got In website. That's a great place that is really going to consolidate for you what your next steps are, what you need to be doing over the next few months to get ready for your studies in September. Get Started is our academic orientation, and this is a great way for first-year students to really understand some of the academic expectations, how things work with course enrollment, and how things will operate in your academic life. All of these opportunities will be offered virtually for you, and there'll be lots of modules. You'll also have a peer mentor that will help you navigate those next steps in your academic life. Course enrollment for first-year students is July 8th. Now, as a management student, many of your courses are already loaded for you because there's a core curriculum that you'll have to take. But you will have a little bit of flexibility, and on July 8th, you'll be able to go in and add additional courses. You need to pay your fees by August 31st. And so you can consult the Office of the Registrar website for financial dates and everything that you need to know about making your tuition payment, but do ensure that you are doing that before August 31st. Classes begin on September 8th, and I know lots of you are asking questions about what the fall will look like. Professor Zweig has answered lots of those questions in the chat. We hope to be able to have some offerings on campus, but we know that many of our offerings will be offered remotely. And we want to assure you that if you can't get to campus or you're not comfortable doing that, that you will be able to complete your classes virtually, remotely. We're looking forward to creating a really positive remote experience for you. I know what happens after you've attended this webinar. Inevitably, you're going to have questions, and there's lots more opportunities for you to get more information. Management orientation is going to happen for you in September, so you'll have lots of opportunities to connect with faculty, staff, and your fellow students. Again, it'll be a virtual offering for you that you'll be able to participate in September 12th. The other opportunity that you'll get to have is through the FLIP program, and FLIP is the first year learning integration program. This is a program for BBA students where you'll be cohorted with a group of 20 students and 2 upper year mentors, and they're really going to help and support you through your transition in your academic life at UTSC. You're going to get to build community, you're going to build connections with lots of faculty and staff and students, and there's going to be workshops to help support you in academics as well as your career success. So look for an email about the FLIP program that will be coming to you soon. Again, after this webinar, if you have additional questions that you need help with, there's lots of resources for that. utsc.offer@utoronto.ca is a great resource. If you have questions about your offer of admission, about how things are working, if you have questions about management programs and your curriculum, contact the management contact that's there on the screen. We are all here to help you through this process and excited to answer all of your questions. We're going to try to answer some of your questions live now. I've seen a lot of questions that you're asking about what your first year courses are like. And I'm hoping that maybe Christine Arsenault, who is the Managing Director of the Department of Management, can maybe come on and talk a little bit about what first year students can expect in those first year courses.
Hello, everyone. Thanks, Shelby. It's been great to chat with you guys. Now you can see the face to the name of the person one of the people who have been answering a lot of the chats. So first year courses are made up of economics, so first year economics, first year management, so an introduction to management as a discipline. You will also have an accounting course, a communications course, and math. There's also marketing. So you'll see I did put the codes, and I know you're not familiar with the codes yet, but I also provided a link to our calendar. And when you go into our calendar, you can click through and you can read about all the individual courses. Those are the required ones. You'll be preloaded into those to save you a bit of time. If you don't like when they're offered, you can see if you can switch them around, but we just want to reserve a spot in those courses for you. So as Professor Zweig mentioned, we are very committed to learning a multiple or a very well-rounded perspective of management. And so that starts in your first year, and each year you'll continue to build on those and choose your area of specialization.
Thanks so much, Christine. That's really helpful. There's also been a lot of questions. I think students are maybe received an alternate offer to a different program in management than they had originally intended, or they're hearing lots of great things about some of the other management programs and thinking about opportunities to transfer within management. Can you speak a bit to that process and how that might work?
Yeah, you know what, we think it's very natural that at a young age, you're trying to figure out what is the right program for you. And I just want to reassure you that our program is made specifically to help you with that. Our first year courses are very similar. And what that means is, again, we're trying to give you that foundation. So if you come into our co-op program, our MIB program, our double degree program, you can use your first year to look at, oh, maybe I want to spend more time in double degree, so I'd like to apply to that. We can help you with that at the end of your first year. Because your first year courses are so similar, you can switch between these programs fairly easily. Sometimes we do have added requirements, like we might want to see your resume and cover letter, or we might want to meet with you to do a brief interview to see if you're ready to go abroad through the MIB program. So what I would offer is, if you're absolutely sure right now that you would like to be considered for a different program, please accept the offer you have right now to guarantee yourself a spot within our program. And you can contact the admissions office to ask if we can switch at this late stage between programs. Sometimes the other programs are full and that might not be possible. So in that case, still come in September. You'll be in the same courses as your friends in the double degree co-op management and MIB program. And we can look at getting you into the program of your choice after first year without being behind at all on your degree. I hope that helps.
That's great. Thanks so much, Christine. There's also lots of questions, and it makes sense, about what the fall is going to look like and what courses are going to look like this fall. Professor Zweig, I don't know, I know we're still working on lots of these things, and as we get toward the fall, can you comment a little bit about remote instruction and what students can maybe expect?
Sure. And I was just in the middle of sending out a response to someone who said a message about that on chat. So let me talk about it instead. So we're doing everything we can to make sure that our remote delivery of our courses is as effective as it can be. For example, right now I'm teaching a course, I'm teaching it live. So the students are still coming in at 9 in the morning, and then I teach another one at 1 o'clock. They're coming in, we're having a live lecture. So it is me interacting with the students in real time. What I've had to do is a little bit of adjustment in terms of making sure that all of the exercises and things that we engage in are now available online, and making sure that students can access materials and videos and things. But I did all that, and it's actually working out really, really well. I don't think the students are really thinking that they're not getting a high quality experience. At least I hope not. So we're doing everything we can to promote the use of the technology we have, and we have some amazing technology for carrying on our courses online, and to training our professors to use all of the technology available to them so that we can give you the best experience we possibly can. Of course, we would rather see you in person, and we hope to be able to see you in person as soon as it's safe to do so. But in the meantime, we're doing everything we can to ensure that you're still having a very high quality, academically rigorous experience.
That's really great. Thank you so much, Professor Zweig. It's great to hear everyone sort of working together to make this happen. Yeah. There's also been lots of questions about co-op and co-op work terms and what's happening with that now, and what students who are in co-op can expect going forward. Christine, is that something you could talk about?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, having to go completely remote was a big switch up for us, no doubt, back in March. I'm proud to say that our co-op team and our students are exceptional. There's a reason that U of T has the most employable graduates in Canada and in the top 15 in the world. Our employers are still eagerly seeking out our students. And so we are far above the national average with co-op matches right now. So we have, as I mentioned in the chat, 135 students who are out on work term right now, and we have more scheduled for the fall. We are in constant communication with our employers who understand that this might be part of a new reality. So they're looking at hybrid offers of in-person versus virtual work. So we do still believe that the co-op students will get their experience. It just is changing as so many parts of the world are right now. But we do prepare our students very well for that.
Great, thanks so much, Christine.
Also offer, Shelby, I'm just seeing a lot of questions around academic support. And I do want to share that we have academic advisors dedicated to our first year students, and they're eager to meet you. There will be programming in the summer to connect. Orientation will be a big part of that. And we do have a number of peer tutoring and academic support programming that will continue virtually through the fall, guaranteed, and in person when permitted. So all those academic resources are still there. We really want you to be successful. We know you've worked really hard to get into the program. We want to see you right through to graduation. So we're very committed to that success.
That's great. We have some keen students who are asking about, are there academic things that they could or should do over the summer in preparation for their academic courses? Anything that they need to be doing or could be doing?
How about resting up?
Yeah, let me jump in here and say, I was just about to respond to a participant who wanted to know what textbooks they could read in the summer. And my response is enjoy your summer. You're going to have plenty of time to engage in lots of learning once your courses start. Get rest, enjoy the break that you have, and you can hit the ground running in the fall once the courses start. And don't worry about preparing too much. You'll be fine.
Yeah, we want you to be ready for studies in September. The one thing I will say is if you are maybe a little anxious about math and calculus, maybe your school year has been a bit interrupted, you're not feeling as confident as you were hoping with your math skills, UTSC does have some online math preparedness modules that you can look at. They're through our Center for Teaching and Learning. Again, if you go to the You Got In website for newly admitted students, you'll find some information there. But you can view these math modules and just sort of brush up on your math skills through the summer if you're really keen to do something to help prepare yourself for September, but also do a lot of resting. We've got some questions too about co-op and the structure for co-op, how work terms and study terms, how that all plays out. Christine, can you help with that one?
Absolutely. I was just going to suggest that one too, so we're on the same page because I'm seeing that pop up. Do we still have the extra slides that show the schedule? You're on mute, so I'm not sure, but if you, yeah, there we go. Look at how prepared Shelby is, always prepared. So it is a very good question to understand how we do co-op. And if you missed our presentation in April, it is available via Zoom. We kind of go through the first year in a lot more detail. Today, we wanted to just highlight some of the exceptional experiences that we offer because a lot of people are saying, well, what are the differences? But with co-op here, you'll see that we do allow students to complete their 12 months of work experience and their 4-year degree all within 4 years. And how we do that is we ask students to come with us. You'll see here in year 1 that there are 3 study terms that include summer. We really want to make sure you have a good foundation of courses before you go out to work with an employer. And you can go out, this is a sample study sequence. So you could go out as soon as the fall of your 2nd year. And basically what we say is, listen, instead of taking summers off to go and work, I know when I was a student, I worked at Burger King in the summers, lots of fun, ate a lot of bad food, well, not healthy food, I should say. It was good food, but not healthy. But it didn't really help me expand my knowledge of my degree or compensate me at a high level that allowed me to subsidize my tuition. co-op roles, we ask you to give us back your summer to either study or work. And those work terms we know will be academic related, will be well compensated, and will help you explore career options. So you'll see here that with those 3 work terms, we've just kind of alternated them back and forth. That allows you to take your study information into the work and work back into the classes. It also allows you to change up your career options if you would like. If you do a first work term in accounting and you fall in love with it, great. You can accept return offers and keep going. If it's not really what you expected or you want to try something else, you could come back, study, take a few courses in marketing and go out and do marketing. That might even enhance you being a better accountant if you can market yourself. So there's lots of flexibility you can do your different work terms with big corporate employers or small startups, or even if you wanted to start up your own business. So lots of flexibility, lots of fun, and lots of opportunity.
Wonderful, thanks. I'm just going to revisit some of the fee information again because there were some additional questions. Again, if you are an international student, ensure that you're paying your $1,000 admission deposit when you accept your offer of admission. Otherwise, you will pay your fees in August before August 31st. Instructions about how to pay your fees are available on the Office of the Registrar website. I'll post that link again if you missed it the first time, but you'll be able to make that fee payment. Basically anytime after July 8th, once you have registered in courses, you'll be able to pay those fees. Just make sure you do it before August 31st. And if you are thinking about financial aid, if finances are worrying you, also check out the financial aid resources on the Office of the Registrar website. There's a lot of opportunities there, a lot of information, and we also have financial aid advisors available to chat with you. So check out those resources if you have any questions about finances or financial aid. They're there to help you. Just checking out the questions in the chat. It's great to see so many wonderful questions. One of the things I did see is folks were asking a bit about specializations and choosing their specialization and when that happens. I don't know, Christine, if you want to just sort of respond to that again.
Sure. Yeah. Because that first year is very common, as I mentioned, it allows you to get a basic understanding of a number of our different disciplines and start to carve out where you might want to specialize. And so students can choose their specialization as soon as the end of first year, but they don't have to. They can do it just before they declare graduation as well. So there's a lot of flexibility. You have access to all of our management courses. So you can explore and then decide when you want to declare your specialization. There's a comment about our campus and the size and just kind of compared to others, it's a bit smaller. Shelby, do you want to talk a little bit about our campus culture?
Yeah, absolutely. So all of you probably already know that we are one of 3 of the University of Toronto campuses. Interestingly, we are the smallest in size and population, but we are not a small campus. We have 14,000 students studying at UTSC. The interesting thing though is we are actually the largest campus in amount of space. But don't worry, you won't have to trek around campus. We have 300 acres that belong to the campus. We won't make you walk through all 300 of them unless you'd like to. The campus buildings are very contained, so you'll find it really easy to get from class to class, get to different resources around the campus. But our large space means that we also have lots of fantastic natural green space for you to explore. We have trails, we have an accessible trail down into the beautiful Highland Creek Valley. So it really is a wonderful place to be able to be close to the city. You can hop public transit and be downtown very quickly, but also enjoy nature. We really love that we have both of those things on campus. The fact that we are a smaller campus of the University of Toronto really impacts the type of community that we have. You've probably noticed, even as you heard our faculty and students speaking, because we are smaller, it allows you to really connect with people and have a sense of community. As Professor Zweig said, you are not just a number at U of T Scarborough. You will get to know people, they will know you, you will have connections with your faculty, you will have connections with staff who will support you, and you'll have a great network of your fellow students that you'll be able to lean on and work with. And so it creates a really unique community. And I would say that is general to our entire U of T Scarborough community, but it's even more relevant for the Department of Management. The sense of community that you will have within your academic department just takes that to the next level. So you're going to have all the resources of a large university, and you're going to have an intimate campus experience too. So we think that really gives you the best of both worlds. Okay, let's see if there's any final questions. We're just in the last minutes of the webinar, so we'll see if there's any final things coming up in the chat that we should address. Just taking a quick peek.
Well, I'm seeing one that Sisha's highlighted from here, that asking if we have student admissions ambassadors, about talking to current students. So I don't know if particularly admissions, I just wanted to throw that out there to you, but on our end, we do have a lot of peer mentoring, and we have something like, I think it's like 25 different clubs now, specifically for business students, where you can get involved and have fellow students to help you out. I actually think one of the greatest things of our program is how much everybody helps each other out. I have seen a student who's come out of an exam and didn't feel they did as well as they could have. And I've seen other students put their arm around them and say, all right, let's go study. We'll figure this out for next time. So there is a real communal feeling to how people help. But if from the admissions standpoint, and I think you're on mute, Shelby.
All right. Sorry about that. I was just looking up some links to be able to post in the chat on some of the things we were just posting about. Yeah, there's lots of opportunities to talk to current students. Some of you are probably reached out to already to connect you with a current student. If you haven't had that opportunity yet and you'd really like to, I suggest that you email the admissions office. It's utSC.offer@utoronto.ca. It was on the previous slide. We'll send it out to you as well. And we're happy to connect you with a current student if you need more information. Again, we have current students here today, so feel free to ask them questions. They're in the chat asking questions too, just as, or answering questions as we're wrapping up. But we're happy to connect you with someone for sure. All right, well, it looks like we are reaching the end of our time. Any final comments, Professor Zweig, Christine, anything else we want to address?
I just want to congratulate all of you again on getting accepted into our programs. That is a tremendous accomplishment, and we hope to see many of you here in the fall. And until then, I want all of you to stay safe and healthy.
Wonderful. Thanks so much. Thank you, everybody, for joining us today. Just a reminder, we've recorded the presentation. We'll send it out to you, and we look forward to welcoming you. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.